6 months ago, I was living in Denmark, one of the so-called happiest countries. And today, I moved to Bali, where I live and work. And the difference in my business growth, personal freedom, and quality of life has been absolutely insane. And today, I'll be talking about real numbers, real restrictions, and why most European entrepreneurs are literally playing their business on hard mode without even realizing it. So let's start with what most entrepreneurs hate: taxes. Taxes in Denmark, well, you're paying 55.8% in taxes. Just think about that for a second. For every single dollar you make, you pay more than half of that to the government. Now, I'm not some anti-government or anti-society guy, but as an entrepreneur scaling the business and making tons of money, you need to understand what actually matters for your growth. For example, if you make 100k in Denmark, you get to keep around 44k. In Bali, with proper planning, you can legally structure things so you get to keep 85 to 90k of that. And that's not just money in your pocket, that's reinvestment capital. That's the difference between hiring 1 or 3 team members to scale your business or literally launching for years. And it's also funny because Denmark constantly ranks as one of the happiest and freest countries. But what does actual freedom mean to a young entrepreneur? At 18, in Denmark and likely also many other European countries, you're required to do military service or civil service, and you have absolutely no choice. If you refuse and you don't show up at the place they suddenly require you to do so, you either face fines or you risk getting in jail. So let's just call it forced labor. For most people, that might be fine. But when you actually have a goal in mind and you're actually trying to build something real, and when you're in that crucial stage where momentum is literally everything, being forced to stop for months, or even if you've just already been scaled, or if you already have a business that's going pretty good and you're being forced to stop for months, isn't exactly freedom. And it's not just Denmark. Most Europe countries have similar systems that assume your time belongs to the state first and then your dreams, well, second. And then there's the cost of living. A simple meal out in Copenhagen or just in the city will always be around 25 to 45 euros. A rent for a decent place without anything or without cleaning, without power or water included, 2,000 euros minimum per month. Oh, I'm also forgetting the deposit, by the way, which is usually a 3 months rent. In Bali, I eat much better food for like, what, $5? And my living expenses dropped by, what, 80%? But my quality of life as well has increased, well, I don't really have a word for it, insanely. And when your personal expenses are lower, you can take bigger risks. You can invest more in your business. You can hire people. You can actually afford to fail and try again. And now, some may relate to this, some may not, but it absolutely needs to be said. The general mindset in Denmark is absolutely terrible, and most of Europe. It's designed to keep you comfortable, depressed, and stuck, not successful. Like, people are generally shocked when you're trying to make something of your own or you're trying to make a lot of money. Like, there's this cultural programming that says, be happy with what you have or be happy with enough and don't stand out. Like, I'm not saying Danes are bad people. I'm Danish myself. But there's this difference between society that celebrates safety and one that celebrates success. In Bali, in Canggu specifically, I'm surrounded by people building, creating, taking risks, and the energy is completely different. Like, from a totally business perspective, operating in Asia compared to Europe is like playing on easy mode. Regulations are much simpler, hiring is easier, costs are way lower, and often you're in a time zone that works with both Europe and Asia clients. Plus, the whole entrepreneurial infrastructure here is insane. Like, you have co-working places, cafes, co-working as well, networking events, other business owners who actually get what you're trying to do everywhere. And look, I'm not saying everyone should move to Bali, and I'm definitely not saying Denmark is a terrible place. It's great for many people, don't get me wrong. But if you're an entrepreneur who actually wants to start and scale a business, or already operating, doing good, and want to scale it even further, you need to be honest and ask yourself, is my environment really helping me scale further, or is it holding me back? So if you're thinking about making a similar move, or you're already in the process of doing it, I'd love to help you out because I've done this myself. So you can click on the link below and then you can book in a call. And honestly, life is way too short to pay 55% on taxes while being told you are free.